Okay, guys, so this is volatility 100 index for our time frame. So just want to look at how this market we play out. I'm looking at the market right now. You agree with me that the market is currently in a bearish order flow. One of the most important thing to do while looking at the chart is to identify the order flow of the market, and that will also give you an insight to where the market is going to and what you should do or anticipate for, right? So now you look at the 4 hour time frame. There is recent high here, right? So there is a short term low here, I mean short term high, sorry, a short term high, and we are expecting the market to get to this high and then to this high. Probably a lot of you know sell orders. Let me say sell continuation orders because probably this is a resistance, right? For our time frame resistance. So we some persons will be maybe hoping that the price will likely get here and sell down, right, and continue the downward trend. So okay, so then my take for this market is we're looking at this market. My take for this market is not just that the market will likely sell from here, right? So I'm looking at market repeating its historical pattern or previous pattern. So look at what do we spot here? You can see that here there's a resistance here. The markets are rally down to this point and then goes up to this level and then create a short term high here and then come down again to this point. And what happened? So a lot of sellers will be expecting the market will get back to this resistance here and then follow it downward. So what happened? What can you see here? What can you spot in this market? You can see that the market was took towards the orders here and probably take out the XL hanging above the resistance, right? Take out the XL hanging above the resistance so you can see a rejection candle here. So this is where the market take out all the XL probably hanging above this resistance, this short-term high, right? Before continuing with the initial order flow. All right. So now same thing we are expecting here. We're expecting the same thing to play out here, probably. So what should be our take? First one is to wait for the market to approach to break this short-term high and then get to this point here. So when the market gets to this point, we should not just be reactional, right? But rather we watch what the market is about to do. And so if the market possibly break this high upward, if the market possibly break this high upward, and then should we have hope that the sell will continue, or there's a change of trend, a change of character? Yeah, so we should have hope that the sale will continue because a pattern that just played out here may likely repeat itself, right? May likely repeat itself. So we're expecting the market to take orders from here and probably drive up to sweep some stop losses, take out XL before riding in the order flow or riding in the initial direction of the market, right? So I'm expecting the market to come down to this point here, to get to this point and take XL from this point. So when the market gets to this point, what should we do? We should wait and look at what the market is going to do. Probably take out orders and then drive higher to take out XL, and then what should be our next action? We should be waiting when the market will trade out above this resistance and then next to the next FVG, we can spot around, I mean, up above there. So if the market trade above this point, probably we are expecting that the market may likely get to this point here, right? So this is the next FVG we should wait, anticipate and wait for the market to trade into. So that's the first thing you should do using your 4 hour time frame. You spot the FVG above the resistance um, level, the nearest FVG above the resistance level. All right, because we assume that this gap has been almost filled already, so we are probably we'll be looking at the market from this part, from this angle, from this point. We'll be looking at the market from this point to see what the market is telling us, right? And what next action we should take. So probably we should be looking at the market from this point down to this point here where we have the FVG, right? So now the next thing you do, right? The next thing you do when you want to take this market, probably you want to take a sell on this market, is to, after you have identified the FVG in your 4 hour time frame, you narrow down to your 1 hour time frame to identify your order block, right? So you go to your 1 hour time frame, you identify your order block. And what is order block? Order block is simply the last up close candle um before the market starts moving downward, right? So if you look at this point now, you can see the market was a little bit consolidating here. So what is a last close candle before the market starts moving downward? Now the last up close candle before the market starts moving downward is this bullish candle you're seeing here, this inverted pin bar, all right? So you look at it here, so you take this next horizontal line down to this point. So this is where your order block lies, right? So that is where you may probably be waiting for your entry if the market by any means approach or take out this resistance. If the market by any means take out this resistance, so you should be expecting the market to get to that point where you look for your entry, right? So that is where the order block lies. All right, guys. So quickly, let's get our short tools and see what we can get from this market, what we can benefit from this market. So let me take it back to 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame. Yeah, so this is it. So you can also see the trend. So we are also waiting for the third touch on the trend line. We are waiting for the third touch. This is the first touch, second touch. So we are waiting for the third touch on the trend line. So now let's get our short tools so to get exact direction where this market is going to right now. Right, so it will be here. All right, so like this. So this is so so this is a good trade. This is a good trade. Let's get our rectangle. So all right, this market may not play out as early as possible. We're gonna wait for it to get to that point before we can do anything. Before we can do anything. All right, so the markets, we are expecting the market to do a lot of liquidity grab before it gets to this point. So we just have to wait patiently for the market to get to this sell entry point before we look for an entry signal to opt in to the market. All right, so that we are there. Okay. All right. So this is it. So we are waiting for this market to get to this point, right? Yeah, just like what I said, repeated pattern. I expected the market to get, if the market take this high by the end of today, I expected the market to get to this point and probably take triggered others that are hanging on this short-term high here, and then take the exhale above to this point where we have the our entry before we can look for a sell signal to follow it downward. Right, so let's wait and see what the markets will do. Right, thanks for your time. See you in the next